Hi guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a bins haul. This was my first day back to the bins in a while. It felt great. I got some really great things. I ran into some of my buddies. It was a good time. I didn't have a ton of time there, and I think I have about 33 pieces here, but some really good things, some really interesting vintage, one of my favorite kinds of things to find at the bins, so lots and lots of stuff to talk about. But before we get started, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet here. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, it's a little late in the afternoon, so the sun's getting kind of low in the skies, and we've got a lot to talk about here, so why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. All right, so let's jump this off with this hoodie here. So this, I felt and knew immediately it was something nice. It's just that really high-end, 100% cotton fleece. It's got that nice, like, washed look. This is from Talentless, which is Scott Disick's brand. He is a Kardashian baby daddy. I don't know which Kardashian or which babies, but he's the father of one of their kids. And credit where credit's due, everything I've ever picked up from Talentless is really nice, really well made, beautifully cut, and it always sells really, really well for me. They're definitely, I want to say that they're probably like in the $100 to $150 range retail. And on the resale market, I've gotten anywhere between like $30 for a pair of shorts. Some of these zip hoodies go up to $70. I'll probably anticipate somewhere $40 to $50 on this, but we'll find out. I've never found a full zip hoodie, but my experience with the brand in terms of resale has been very, very positive. So keep your eyes out for that label. I do think you'll feel the quality on it, so that should help it jump out in a sea of sweatshirts, but yeah, they're really good stuff. Credit where credit's due. Next up, I found this cute little dress. This is from Sundays, and I'm not sure what that subline is, but Sundays was sold at Revolve, and this cute little beach dress, again, guys, we are in resort wear buying season right now. So it's this cute little, I think, linen blend midi dress. It's this like textured fabric and this pretty like tomato-y red. It's got this cutout at the midriff and then a little like kind of bandeau-esque top with a little halter strap. It's a size large, and this dress in particular, like the last couple sold comps, I want to say were like $50 to $75. So somewhere in that range, maybe. I'll do a little bit more research, but I was really surprised when I saw the resale price of this dress in particular, because other Sundays dresses that I've seen haven't resold for quite as much. So maybe this is something that somebody famous wore and there's some kind of like additional demand on it. So I'll dig a little bit more into it, but a great find. Next up, I found a cute little vintage nightgown, and typically I don't like to pick up polyester nightgowns. The reason I picked this up is this ridiculous little top, this cute little like heart leaf embroidery. I figure either somebody will buy this for the actual nightgown of it all, or somebody will buy this and kind of repurpose this top, make a tank top out of it or something. It's from Vanity Fair. It's made in the USA. It's size large. It's in basically perfect condition. So not quite sure what I'll get on this. Something probably between like 20 and 30. That's typically what I'll get for vintage nightgowns. And obviously there are certain vintage nightgowns out there that I'll get significantly more than that. But for your average vintage nightgown, usually in that $20 to $30 range. But I just thought that that was so cute, and I love those colors together. I could totally see somebody doing something really cute with this because that embroidery is just adorable. Next up, I made a mistake. We share the good and the bad here, guys. So I found this cute little Babaton, cropped, boxy, adorable. Honestly, it feels so soft that I thought it might be actual leather, but when I got home and looked at it closely, I completely missed that. So number one, that tells me that it's not real leather, because real leather doesn't crack like that. That is just something that happens when like a polyurethane kind of plastic leather, faux leather, whatever you want to call it, is usually made of polyurethane. And polyurethane, when it heats up and cools down and heats up and cools down and there's moisture in the place, starts to disintegrate. So if you are ever outsourcing, I know that there's a lot of seasoned people out there who have kind of learned this through trial and error, but if you are newer to the reselling world, if you're ever out and you feel a faux leather piece, let's call it by today's colloquialism, if you're feeling a faux leather piece and it feels a little bit sticky, that generally means that it's about to start to break down. So it's definitely not something to pick up. And that's kind of what surprised me with this, because this does not feel sticky at all. It feels great. This feels new. This is probably within the last couple of years, but I don't know what happened to it once it was donated. It could have been left out in the sun and then brought back in, or whatever, you know, like there's a million things that can happen to it in the Goodwill system. But if you ever find a piece of faux leather and you're considering picking it up, be it at the bins or paying up for it or at a flea market, especially if you're at like a vintage store or a flea market where you're about to pay up for something, if it feels sticky, it's on the cusp. So do not spend your money on it. Let me have learned that lesson for you. Next up, this was a cute little thing. So I don't know if this is vintage or not. I don't think it is, but I grabbed it because of the style. This feels very biker to me. And this is from True Religion. It's just like a little like ringer tank cropped tank top. I remember back in like whatever it was, 1996, I had I think it was from Roxy. It was like the early days of Roxy. And I had a tank top that had a neckline like this. And it was like my special tank top. I only wore it on my biggest nights out. But yeah, so it's got the little horseshoe on the back there. I don't think I'll get too terribly much for this. Maybe like $15 if it is Y2K vintage, because it is absolutely in the style of something Y2K vintage. I'll just have to look in the tags and all that kind of stuff. Probably somewhere more like $30 to $35, but if that's more modern, again, somewhere on like that $15 to $20 range. I just thought it was super cute. Next up, okay, so literally just a week or two ago, I was talking about how I have not picked up Zara pieces in a while. And I picked up actually a few this day, which is very unusual for me. Very, very unusual. But I found some super cute pieces, and something like this is always a pretty easy like slam dunk for me. Now, I don't know if this is men's or women's. It doesn't really matter. This is a little resort wear cabana style shirt in this really cute open knit pattern. This looks like men's, but sizing, like I'm holding it up, this feels like a women's size small to me. I would be willing to bet if this is women's, this was in a two-piece set, that there was a pair of shorts that went with this. But these kind of shirts from Zara sell so well, so fast for me. Like specifically like these resort style cabana shirt-esque type tops. Not a huge sale, somewhere generally between like $20, $25 is what I see on them. Sometimes up to $30, but I have had so many of these come through my hands and they almost always are in and out of my hands in under a month. So if you're in a place where you don't have a ton of great brands, but you do see a lot of Zara, keep your eyes out for stuff like this because they are very, very good sellers for me. And if you have the same experience with Zara, like resort style pieces like that, especially in men's, leave it down in the comments. I don't think that this is just a me thing, but as always, the more data we have, the better decision makers we all can become. Oh, next up, this is a cool little vintage piece. So this is from the Territoria Head, and I have sold quite a few Territoria Head pieces. This is probably from the 90s. It's made in Hong Kong, so you definitely know it's vintage. And it's a lyocell cotton blend, and it feels, I'm gonna be totally honest, like a dream. So it's this like aubergine purple. It's this really pretty purple. It's midi length. It's utility style. That's like the number one reason that I grabbed this. This utility style is pretty popular right now. It's in perfect condition. It's a size 10 and the buttons go all the way down to the bottom. So you can kind of give yourself a little bit of a front slit, whatever. Something like this in this style, I think I'm gonna see somewhere probably between like $30 and $45 on it. That is about what I've seen. This is kind of a wild guess just because I've never seen something like this from the Territoria Head specifically, but I have sold other dresses similar to this, and the Territoria Head like quality is exceptional. It's really, really nice stuff. So just kind of using a bunch of different like criteria to come to that anticipated price, but I think that this will be a pretty quick sell. And again, it's just in like perfect condition. Keep your eyes out for that brand. Let me know if you've ever found it before. I found a few pieces, and with the exception of one dress that I've had that's a little bit more kind of over the top from them, they've all sold super, super quickly. But let me know your experience. Oh, next up. So this is a little dress from Mia Joy. And I don't know, like there's Mia Joy, Joyfully. I don't know what the official term is. I think that they do kind of mommy and me pieces because I found quite a few like girls dresses and they're all really like similar in that they're really well made. They have very voluminous skirts. They're like midi length. This one has a handkerchief hem there. All the dresses that I've ever found from this designer, this brand, have had kind of this vibe to them. This is a size medium. I do think that this is women's. This gives me like Free People vibes. And I keep thinking that this is the front. That's not the front. This is the front. The tag is right here. If you're unfamiliar with this brand, that is the label. I've sold some of these dresses for like $40, $45. I've sold other ones for like $20, $25, and I haven't really figured out the formula here. I mean, I buy this at the bins and I know that they're generally a pretty decent and pretty quick sale. So it's no big deal for me to grab them, but I'm still trying to figure out if there are particular pieces that are more in demand, if it's more like girls' dresses that do better, or if it's more like adults' dresses that do better. I just don't have enough data. If you guys have had experience with Mia Joy or Joyfully, either or, put it down in the comments. Did they sell fast for you? Was it girls or women's? Does one sell better than the other for you? I would imagine, just going by the style, this is something that probably folks across the South and maybe in like the mountains see a little bit more than I see out here. This has a very like kind of almost like a country boho feel to it. So let me know your experience. Let's see if we can get a little bit of consensus on it, because again, at the bins, that's always going to be a good buy for me, but I don't know what to tell people if they're staring down $9.99 on that tag. All right, next up, ooh, this is a pretty one. So this is Eileen Fisher. No, I love me some Eileen Fisher. This is 100% linen. So it's a size large, 100% linen, open front cardigan. This is easily something that can go sweater or like swim cover up. I can easily see this being worn on the beach in this pretty like taupe color, beautiful condition. This does not feel like it's been worn much at all. There's like no picks or pulls on this, which is really unusual when you have like an open weave sweater like this. Probably somewhere, because this is linen, probably somewhere between $40 and $50 on that, maybe a little bit more. Eileen Fisher linen sweaters like that sell very, very well for me. And again, right now is the perfect time because it is resort wear for sure, but it's also a sweater, so it can still be worn through the winter. Next up, this is another Zara piece, and like, I don't think I could leave this behind if I tried. So it's this absolutely adorable tie front sweater. This has gotta be like a mohair blend, because this feels like there's at least some natural fiber in it. It's acrylic, polyamide, alpaca, and wool. Okay, so that makes sense. So it's this cute little ruffle collar tie front cardigan with the most adorable like triple bell sleeves. This is so boho. This is so like right now boho. This is that kind of soft layers, monochromatic. It's very romantic. This can go for a lot of different kind of aesthetics and trends. This can go a little coquette, this can go romantic, this can go whimsy, this can go fairy core. There's just a lot of different ways that I can tag this. I think I'll probably see somewhere between like $25 and $40 on this. I have a feeling that this might be a pretty in-demand sweater from them just because of the style, but isn't that adorable? These sleeves, I'm such a sucker for a bell sleeves and then triplet, you know? Next up, this is another brand I really don't pick up ever, but I grabbed it because of what it is. And this is another one of those kind of resort style top. It's knit, it's green and white striped, it's got a little bit of an open weave to it, and this is from ASOS. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That's how the Brits say it, so I'm gonna go by that. But this is ASOS, whatever it is. It is a size 2XL and it's brand new with tags. Now, at first glance, this looks like a men's shirt to me, just style-wise. But it is from ASOS Curve, which I believe is a women's line. So I'm not quite sure. I'll have to do a little bit more research on it. So they're not the most expensive brand, so I'm not gonna get crazy amount of money for this. Probably, again, just like the Zara one, somewhere between like 20 and 30 bucks on it. I don't think that this will last too terribly long. I wouldn't be surprised if once upon a time this was a set. I feel like most of the time when I see a women's camp shirt in this vein, it is as part of a set, but Again, with spring break coming right up around the corner, those kind of things will sell. Ah, and this is one of the things that I absolutely positively love to find. It's just enormous. So, you know, nothing excites me more than when I see a big piece of linen in the bins, because all I'm thinking is, who made that duvet cover? And this one is from Parachute. There it is. You gotta dig for that label. But Parachute is a super high-end linen company. They do a lot of like towels and sheets and duvet covers. And this is a size king. And the king size retails for like $360. It's no joke. And it's funny, when I was there, I like was tearing this apart because the last time I found a linen duvet, inside the duvet were all of the pillowcases. It was like the most exciting thing. I don't think that that's the case here. It is a size king. I'm just gonna kind of like drop it to the ground because that's going straight in the wash after this. But I will probably see somewhere north of $100 for that on the resale market. I have found quite a few of them and they've all kind of gone between $100 and $200. I am a linen duvet fanatic. I've got one on my bed. I absolutely love it, but they are pricey. And Parachute is a name that people know, so keep your eyes out for it. I know that there's a lot of people who don't even like look at the bedding when you are in the bins, and I get that, 100% I get that. But I would say, at least if you see something that is linen, just take a second look. Because if you look at the average sale price and speed of sale, these are some of the, on average, highest dollar sales that sell the fastest. Again, I've sold quite a few of them over $100, and usually when I find something that's linen like this from a brand like Parachute, it's usually gone in just a few days. So it is, in my humble opinion, worth the investment. Even if you're paying by the pound, where that can get kind of pricey, that's probably a few pounds. Just make sure it's a decent brand. Like, I probably wouldn't get something that's from like Threshold or something from Target, but if it's a nicer brand like this, or Cultivar, or Boll and Branch, or one of the other like super high-end bedding companies, well worth the investment. Well worth it. Next up, another Zara piece, guys. This is 3. There might be one more. I thought that there was only 3. But this was so cute. I had to grab it. So it's this macrame, question mark? I think that this is like a macrame knit little dress. So it's got cap sleeves. It's got an attached slip dress underneath. Something for sure I'm going to have to photograph on the mannequin. But it's midi or maxi length. Again, I'm not quite sure. I think that this is actually maxi length. And it's just really cute, really beachy. It's hefty, right? Like, this feels quite heavy, but it feels like it's made really, really nicely. It's in perfect condition. It's a size small, and it's something that I can see easily going for like 30 to 45 bucks. I can also see 100% somebody buying this, just because I think it gets a little cumbersome with that full length slip. I can see somebody buying this and then cutting off the slip to be more of like a mini length and having just the bottom be like open. That's what I would do anyway. Not me injecting my own opinions on what the buyer does with the dress, but I thought that this was really cute, really well made. It feels nice. It feels luxe. Like this, every once in a blue moon, you get your hands on something from Zara that like feels luxurious. This feels luxurious. Yeah, I think I'll do pretty well on it. I will try to report back when this does sell. But I'll tell you, man, this is heavy, heavy, heavy. Next up, I got this cute little Free People Movement crop sweatshirt, little tropical print. This is so soft, but it's got almost those like Lululemon style seams to the arms. Again, it's cropped length, a nice boxy fit. You know, something like this, I'll probably see somewhere like $20, $25 on it. Free People Movement, of the Free People brands, one of the better and faster moving labels from Free People for me. So we'll see how this does, but I think that's pretty safely where I can expect for this one to land. I'll tell you though, this is really soft jersey. What's this made of? Oh, it's a cotton viscose blend, so that makes sense. Super cute. Next up, this dress is super voluminous, and I grabbed it just because it felt really nice. I'd never heard of the brand before. I'm interested to hear if any of you guys have had any experience with it, but it's this cute tiered dress in this cream and white check. This feels to me very 80s. I feel like there was a lot of like sheeting back in the 80s that was a similar check to this. I don't think, not necessarily the colors. In my mind, I'm seeing like gray and white, but that was like the first thing that popped into my head. But it's got little pockets. It's got these big voluminous puff sleeves. The brand on this is Zoko. It's an extra large. It's fully lined. It's 100% cotton. Like I said, it feels really well made. But let me know if you are familiar with the brand, if you've had experience with it. How did you do? Sold comps on this dress. While the retail price isn't crazy, I want to say that the retail price is somewhere between like $80 and $100. Sold comps on this specific dress were between 30 and 40. So that would be a solid sale for sure, especially at the bins. But I've never picked this up before, so I'm only going by what I'm seeing on sold comps. But let me know if any of you guys have had experience with it because it's really cute. Next up, I've got a little Free People sweater here, and this is like a long line, kind of almost half duster sweater. It's got a little bit of a pontel knit there to it. It's got snap front. It's got those kind of drapey pockets. These kind of sweaters from Free People do quite well for me. Again, something that I can use swim cover up. It's super lightweight. A cotton rayon blend. Okay, so that explains the drape to it. But it's in perfect condition. Again, something that I can see somebody wearing like on the beach, over a bathing suit, even over shorts. This can go boho, festival, whatever. We are coming, by the way, we are coming up on Coachella season that I believe is in May. So when you have things that are very like festival worthy, you want to make sure that you're leveraging Coachella for things that are kind of in that boho world. Stagecoach is usually like a week or two after Coachella, and that's kind of like the country western Coachella if you were unfamiliar with it. And then, of course, you have Burning Man, which is usually in like August or September for the really out there pieces that you find. I truly cannot imagine the heat being in that desert in August. Oh, next up. Okay, so this is a brand that I know I've seen before and I know I've left it behind. And I'm really interested to hear if anybody else has done it. I grabbed this one because I just thought it was so beautifully made. And I think that they're really high end, and now I'm kicking myself if they are really high end and I've left some behind. So this is a brand called MABE, maybe. This is size extra small, but it is quite oversized. But it is this adorable gauze embroidered dress. Like I said, like I'm holding this up and this looks like it could easily fit a size large with room to spare. So this is definitely a very oversized fit. But look at the way that the embroidery is done on here. It's beautiful work. Like, look at how that's lined up. Look at, That is always one of the ways that you can tell quality, when they line up patterns perfectly. When you're using a print in particular, it generally takes quite a bit more fabric to be able to line up the patterns to match. So you know that they're using more fabric per garment versus kind of squeezing every little cut into each square inch of textile that they have. But for this, I'm not quite sure what I'll get for it. I guess this is kind of like a swim cover up. It's definitely got it's got those big tall slits on the side. Probably not something that somebody would be wearing as a dress, but I'm hoping to see somewhere 40 to 50 bucks on this. Please let me know if you've ever picked up this label, if this is a label you actively keep your eyes out for. It's kind of new to me. It's new in my possession, but man, this is beautifully made. But yeah, I'll try to report back when this sells, but seriously, this is absolutely stunning. I will say that the other pieces that I've seen from them, and I can only think of like one off the top of my head because it was just recently, it wasn't as pretty as this. So, okay, so this is a little bit of an unassuming one, and one that would be super easy to miss. This is Peace and Quiet. Now, this is a small brand. I want to say they're based out of like Costa Mesa, somewhere down there. It's just like an elevated, kind of sweatshirt, t-shirt brand, and I have sold 2 of these shirts for like $40. This is the first one I've ever found that's been long sleeve. So I'm interested to see how this does. It's a size large, it's this sage green, and I mean, like, even the screen print is a little bit cracked. And I remember one of the ones that I sold also being a little bit cracked. And I don't know how it occurred to me to comp the first one that I picked up. Like, I don't know what it was about it that made me pick it up, but I'm glad I did. It's one of those like little under the radar kind of brands that sells for some pretty good coin, despite it just being a regular old t-shirt. So yeah, somewhere probably around $40 for this. And the other ones that I've had have sold super duper quickly as well. So keep your eyes out for it if you are flipping through t-shirts or if you're digging through a pile of t-shirts. You just never know where you're gonna find that. I really do wish I could go back in my brain and figure out what it was about that first t-shirt that I picked up that made me look it up. Next up, a label I will never leave behind, especially if it's in good condition. This is a little merino wool cardigan from Pendleton. It's a size large. There's a little, this must have been up against a wreath or something in the bins. There's like a little styrofoam berry. But this is in the color of the season, in that nice burgundy red. It's in fantastic condition, size large, Pendleton, all the things. I'll probably see about $40 to $50 on this. That's what I see for solid color Pendleton sweaters. It's pretty much an auto buy for me, even when I'm paying up for it in the regular thrift store. Like, this is always a very reliable, higher end sale for me. So I would confidently pay $7, $8, $9 for something like this, knowing that that'll sell quickly for a very, very good price. Next up, there's this cute little puntel cardigan from Fry, and I picked this up mostly because it's a size 2XL. It's 100% cotton, super duper cute. Again, that like puntel knit. Oh, there you go. You should be able to see that a little bit there. Kind of a slub knit on the back there. I've never really grabbed their garments yet. Of course, anytime you see a pair of Fry boots, you better pick those up, especially the campus boots. They're still very, very red hot right now, especially if you can find a vintage pair. But something like this, I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna guess probably somewhere $20 to $30 in that range. I don't think that garments are quite as like high priced, at least something like this, as their boots are. So I think that that's going to be a little bit more in the bread and butter territory, but I do love seeing a 2XL. I just do not see a lot of plus sizes around here, like at all. So I'm always excited when I can find a good piece in a larger size, just not something I see all that much of. Extra, extra small, all day long. Next up, I've got a silk pajama top, and you can bet that I tore that bin apart looking for the other half of this. It doesn't necessarily matter. I've sold lots of shirts like this, usually for a decent price, usually very, very quickly. This is from Nordstrom. In particular, again, 100% silk in the most gorgeous cobalt blue. It's the very classic piped old school style pajama top. Something like this, I'll probably get somewhere north of $30 for. And if I have to guess, size medium, if I have to guess, this will probably go within a few days. Anytime from any brand I have ever listed a pajama top like this, not even with like the full set, just the pajama top, it has sold super quickly for a decent price. Interesting. This one was $11.99. Ooh, I don't like that. Unless they were selling this as a set, in which case I can get behind that. But just the shirt for $11.99 seems real high for a pajama piece. And our Goodwills around here don't really mark up too many brands. So I'm interested as to why that was that price. Pants must have been there. Somebody else must have grabbed the pants. Next up, okay, I picked myself up a project, and this is like, I need to not do this, but I can't leave an Aaron Craft sweater behind. This is a beautiful wool gray cable knit cardigan that has been washed and dried. Guys, I feel like I don't have to tell you this, but please, if you have children, teach them proper care of wool, because something like this deserves better. This is Aaron Crafts. This is 100% wool. It's that classic fisherman knit. So I'm gonna do conditioner soak on this. If you did not know, and this is pretty tight. So I'm hoping I can get this. It might actually take like 2 rounds. If you guys didn't know this, if you have a piece that's like this, or if you ever see something that's like exceptionally expensive, whatever, this is obviously not something that I would do on a bread and butter piece in any way, shape, or form, because it is quite a bit of work. If you run some warm water and some conditioner, and just like go online and look for a YouTube tutorial so you can actually get the visual of this. I keep thinking of making a video about this, but I just like don't have the facilities to do so. Like everything I'm doing is in my guest room, so it's not the most photogenic of places. But I say just get like cheap conditioner. Do not use your Kerastase. Go and get Suave, VO5, whatever, something at the dollar store. And you soak this in. Basically, the conditioner relaxes the fibers so you can kind of gently unnap them. So like for something like this, so after soaking for a little while, I would kind of go in and like gently kind of like tug it back into place. Don't pull too hard. And then you lay it flat to dry. A lot of people will take little T-pins. A lot of people will try to do this on like a cork board or like a foam core. So you take a towel, lay it over top, put this on top and you can kind of pin it into place. So as it dries and naturally contracts, it's not going to pull back into size. It's a little bit of a project, but something like this will be worth it. So I need to keep reminding myself that I'm looking for profit, not a project. But again, like there are certain things that warrant this. Also, if you have a steamer, fair warning that it's not going to really work that well on something this shrunken. But if you have something that's shrunken just like a little bit, or something got a little bit too napped up and it's shortened up a little bit, if you put some steam on the fibers, that will also kind of relax the fibers a little bit. Obviously be very gentle when you're doing all this, but same deal, like steam can help relax fibers so you can kind of reshape sweaters. But again, something like this is going to need that conditioner soak. Oh, next up, this is just something for a friend of mine. Just found out that one of my dear friends is pregnant, and I found the cutest little baby onesie that maybe I've ever seen. This is from Mink Mui. I think that this is a Korean brand, but I'll tell you, it's beautifully made. It's this beautiful fabric and just as cute as can be. So long as she tells me that she is having a girl, this will not be for sale. Of course, if she tells me she's having a boy, this will be for sale, but I just thought that that was so stinking cute. Oh, this was a cool find. Okay, so this is a brand I want you to keep your eyes out for. Of course, I saw the linen, jumped at it. Then I saw these absolutely beautiful straps. Do you see the embroidery on that? Isn't that gorgeous? So this is just a little ruffle neck, adjustable strap. That strap has buttons there so you can kind of change the length there. It's a little tie waist mini dress, super cute. I want you to keep your eyes out for this brand. Initially when I saw this, I just saw the Made in Italy tag up top and I thought that it was the brand Made in Italy, which I would have happily grabbed this. And then I saw 120% lino, which is a brand you absolutely need to keep your eyes out for. They also have a label that is similar to this, but it's just printed, but it's stacked the same way. So 120% lino, that should stick out to you just because it's more than 100%. Very, 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 very high-end linen pieces out of Italy. Stunning stuff. I'm talking like $600 retail price. Keep your eyes out for it. So I will probably see, I'm going to wash this and steam it and make it look great, photograph it on the mannequin. I'll probably see somewhere between $50 and $150 on this. I was so jazzed to find this. I've never found a piece from them, and it's just one of those brands that's always been on my radar. So color me happy, but guys, please, please, please keep your eyes out for that and don't leave it behind. I feel like a lot of you guys out there are like me with linen, so you would pick it up anyway if it was linen, but comfortably pay up for that label. Big, 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 big dollars. You're getting there, guys. Okay, so this is a little pair of, I'm pretty sure, Y2K vintage sweatpants. This brand has been around since the Y2K era, and that is Twisted Heart. I'm very interested if any of you guys have had experience with them. So the little fly, which is, we all remember the like 8-inch rise, right? Like we all remember those ultra low rise, teeny tiny little zippers on the jeans. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I'm like, oh, don't remind me that those are coming back. But it's got a little heart at the back. This is obviously very low rise. It's white. It's flare legs. Like this is 2006 Britney Spears. You know what I'm saying? So sold comps on similar pants to this. I haven't found these exact pants. Sold comps are like $40 to $60. So I'm interested to learn a little bit more about the brand. I don't know if they are doing like reissue Y2K stuff or if everything that they have is from the Y2K era. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on it. But when you see something like this that is very like of that era, pick it up because the sold comps on this seem crazy high. All right, next up, we've got a pair of leggings. I know, leggings. The reason I picked these up is that they are from Set Active. And Set Active is one of those brands that's still like really hot in athletic wear. Now, I don't know if Set Active is as popular in the rest of this country as it is in LA. I see girls walking around in matching Set Active sets all the time. But what their whole shtick is that they have like a couple different models. They've got like a crew neck sweatshirt. They've got a hooded sweatshirt. They've got a crop sweatshirt. And what they do is they have a core line of colors and then they do a limited drop. And those limited drops often sell out in like hours. So if this is one of the limited drop colors, it has the potential to sell for a high percentage of the retail price and in some super rare cases, even like above retail price. But Set Active stuff is expensive and people really, really love it. But this is a size extra large, so I'm interested to see how well that does. I've never sold anything that wasn't a size small from them. So we'll find out, but probably somewhere between like 30 and 50 bucks on these, and I have no doubt that they'll sell quickly. Set Active is still super duper hot. So if you don't see anything on the inside, keep your eyes out. At least with the activewear, they always have the logo kind of woven into the piece, just like that. Once you get your hands on a piece, you'll be able to identify it. Their leggings are pretty unique and identifiable. Next up, I'm so interested to see how this does. There's a couple things about this that give me pause, and then there's a couple things about this that make me excited. So this is vintage Jessica McClintock from probably the late 70s or the 80s. This is made in the US. This is not Gunny Sacks. Of course, I think I'm saying that right. Those 1970s dresses are very, very in demand. But this is 80s, and this is all silk. So it's got this like gray floral. It's got, you know, shoulder pads to the gods, as they did in the 80s. And then it's got this little lace trim collar. So I think that what this is, because there's no tie on the front, there's no anything like this. I think that this was probably a part of like a pant set. Like, I feel like this is something that I could have seen on one of the Golden Girls. You know what I'm saying? But it's 100% silk. It is vintage Jessica McClintock. And I have sold 1980s pieces from Jessica McClintock for like crazy prices before. So I'm interested to see how this does. Like I said, there's a lot of things about this that make me excited. There's also a lot of things about this that give me pause because I don't really understand the style of it, but maybe somebody out there in the ether will. So TBD on what I'll get for this. $15? $100? We'll find out. Looks like just 3 pieces to go. And the first one is another Eileen Fisher sweater in the most beautiful light blue. So it's a little bit of a boat neck sweater. It's got the knit pattern, which I love. It's a little bit different. The knit pattern kind of goes east-west versus north-south on this. And I love that. It's got nice long sleeves. It's in great condition. What's the fabric on this? So it's Tencel lyocell and merino wool. I always love looking at the fabric content on Eileen Fisher because it's always like a pleasant surprise. But something like this, lightweight sweater, nice elevated closet staple in great condition like this, should sell somewhere again around that $40 mark, maybe a little bit more with the merino wool. Again, it's a good transitional piece from like winter into summer. Got great drape, it's size large. Yes, yes. And yes, thank you. Next up, we have this absolute Emily Gilmore fantasy. Look at this sweater. So this is St. John. And fun fact, for those of you who like Gilmore Girls like me, which if you didn't understand the reference to Emily Gilmore, she's a character on the Gilmore Girls, you should watch it. It's fantastic. I'm pretty sure that her costuming was like almost exclusively St. John. So it makes perfect sense when you see something like this, and that's exactly what it screams. This is their classic like Santana knit, which I believe is mostly wool. It doesn't have the fabric tag, but it's got these over the top buttons. It's got this middle piece, which actually like it buttons to the back of the placket. So those front buttons are not functioning, but it feels like the quality, it's St. John. It feels amazing. And it is a size 4. It is so like 1989 country club that I can't even stand it. This probably retailed probably 800 bucks. Like St. John is so expensive. On the resale market, I think that this is going to sell better than most of the St. John pieces that I found just because of the color and how over the top it is, right? I think I'll probably see somewhere, maybe around $100 for this. I can see this being sold as part of a wardrobe. I can also see this being sold as part of a costume just because of what it is. Also, like these buttons, first of all, they are heavy, but look at the detail on those. The little SJ, so cute. I mean, I will never leave something like this behind, even if it's so I can, for just a brief moment in time, channel my inner Emily Gilmore, icon that she is. And finally, oh my God, this was another good one. So this is from Daily Practice, which I'm never this excited to find something from Daily Practice, but this in particular just did it for me. So this is a little open front cardigan. And it's got this cute like sunsetty style weave to it. I believe this is 100% cotton. Oh, interesting. It's 82% cotton, 10% acrylic, 6% nylon, 1% polyester, and 1% wool. Why? I want to know why. I want to know the reasoning behind putting two different components in there at 1%. That seems like such an odd choice. But either way, this sweater is absolutely adorable. Again, something I can see being worn as resort wear, like thrown over a swimsuit, but also something being worn in the dead of winter. Like, this is a very versatile piece. I have the name of it in my spreadsheet. I'll put it down here on the screen. But sold comps on this sweater are about $60 to $70. So color me happy. Honestly, I just think it is so stinking cute. I'm a sucker for any kind of sweater with like a woven picture on it, especially if it's vintage. Even though this isn't vintage, I'm a sucker for stuff like this. But guys, that is it. That is the haul for today. Kind of on the smaller side at about 30 pieces. We've got some great pieces in there, some cool vintage, some great brands, some new brands to me, a mistake, a project. Literally, this haul had it all. But all in, I think I've got sales somewhere between $1,100 and $1,300 here, which I'd call a great day. But guys, thank you so much for hanging with me and nerding out about these things. I so appreciate that you take even a little bit of your time to hang with me. It means more than you know. But if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or a comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. All of that helps me out so much with YouTube. But without further ado, guys, I hope you have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.